Hey, hello there. Thanks for watching this video. So my name is Nancy Marco, and we're going to do a practice together today focused on the neck and the shoulders. I went cross-country skiing yesterday and just feeling a little tightness in my right shoulder. So make sure you have the props that you need. I have a bender ball that I'm using for to support underneath my pelvis to help roll the pelvis forward, help straighten the spine up, release my shoulders. So you may use a block instead. You can sit on the edge of the block, or you can use a blanket, a towel, a pillow to help support your spine. I have a strap behind me, another block, some water. These are things you might remember to have for your practice. We have been, as a group, doing a Kundalini practice at the beginning and at the end. It was designed by a lovely teacher, Lynn Rulo, who shares a lot of Kundalini practices in conjunction with Enneagram teachings. So today's practice focuses on the sixth chakra and point 6 in the Enneagram teachings. Point 6 invites us into awakeness, and point 6 is the 8th practice that we've done so far. We've done 40 days of each point, starting with the first chakra and point 8. And we have moved through the body center, through the heart center, and now we're up to the head center of intelligence with this second point at point 6. So today, our focus for our practice, and maybe an invitation to you for your intention for your practice. You're welcome to set any intention, of course. But the idea that comes from point 6 is this quality of confidence. And this confidence is free of arrogance. It's free of fear. It's free of control. And it is a confidence that comes from us through a connection to our high mind, our high heart, and from our innate body wisdom, our instinctual wisdom. It comes through inner guidance. So confidence in knowing you'll be in the right place at the right time with the right people, the right words, and that the place you're at offers you an opportunity. So having the confidence, building off of another day, we talked about courage at point 6, building off of that courage to have confidence in whatever is happening to you is an opportunity. So today we start out in an easy seated pose, and hopefully you've had a chance to gather your props, support your pelvis, to roll that pelvic bowl forward, and then to bring attention to the top of your head, lift the top of your head tall. As you lift the top of your head, you'll notice your shoulders want to drop down. Your core wants to contract a little bit, and you stack your ears over your shoulders over your hips. In Kundalini practice, we often add a mudra. And today's mudra is to take your thumbs, tuck them into the palms of your hands, wrap your fingers around that thumb, and then bring the heels of your hands, the knuckles of your hands to touch together. And you keep that nice tall spine and just rest your hands at your chest with the shoulders released and the spine nice and tall. In this practice, the eyes are open, and then you drop your gaze without dropping your face to find a point, a drishti, on the floor where your gaze is right over the tip of your nose. In Kundalini practice, we use pranayama breath. We breathe The breath helps us to relax and connect to consciousness. So the breath for this practice is an inhale through the nose, and it's very slow. And then an exhale through pursed lips, very long. And then an inhale through pursed lips, and an exhale through your nose. So inhale through the nose, out of the mouth, in the mouth, out of the nose. And we do this nice and slow with a focus on this third eye, this sixth chakra, and perhaps with an intention of holding confidence. When we're done with this practice, I'll guide you into another practice with a time for reflection on noticing, bringing your attention inward, noticing yourself. So set up if you're not set up already, nice and tall, lifting the crown tall, dropping the shoulders down. And then start your breath. We'll do this for about a minute. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through pursed lips. Inhale through pursed lips. Exhale through the nostrils. Continue on. Wherever you are, do one more round. When you're done with that round, release your mudra, shoot your arms up, take a big inhale, close your eyes, arch your back, and hold your breath. And then exhale, drop your hands down and just sit, taking your attention to notice any shifts, any changes. So Lynn invites us to do that for about 22 minutes. So maybe you add that practice into your day. From here, I invite you to drop your chin, kissing your shoulder blades back, letting your heart lift, and let your chin drop to your chest. On your inhale, lift your chin up, keeping your spine tall. Open your eyes and jut your chin towards the ceiling. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. And then let the eyes close. Drop the chin back down to the chest. Keep lifting the heart. Keep dropping the elbows. And then roll your chin to the right, back to center, to the left. Go back and forth a couple times. The next time you're over to the right, stay there. Open your eyes and take your eyeballs behind you. Stretch your field of vision. So that field of vision narrows as we age. And then slowly start to nod up and down, stretching the eyeballs down and then up, keeping the shoulders dropped, the spine tall. Stretch your neck. Stop at center. Look behind you. Let your eyes close. Roll your chin down across your chest and come up over to the left. Open the eyes. Look behind you. Start to nod. Looking down. Looking up. Feel the stretch in your neck, the top of your shoulders. Feel your back slightly arched, no slumping there. Stop at center, look behind you. Close your eyes, roll your chin back down to center and come back to neutral. Bring your hands across your belly. Ujjayi breath in and out through the nostrils. Let your attention come in and down from the outer to the inner. Rest your pinkies at your pubic bone, your thumbs reaching towards your belly button. Notice your parts and your pieces. So in our practice, we want to heed the sensations in our body to make sure we don't do too much, to make sure we don't do too little. There's always add-ons to back off or add on. Your innate body wisdom may give you even more add-ons. So listen to your body. Take my cues as suggestions for alignment. Take it down a notch, take it up a notch. Take a moment to connect to your innate wisdom. Feeling your sitting bones on the floor, the back of your legs, your ground tall. Keeping your eyes closed and your breath long, bring your hands into a prayer mudra, touching the heels, the mounds, and the fingertips. And if you like, bring that thumb to your third eye. Otherwise, just keep your hands at prayer in a comfortable position. Let your attention float up to your head center. Let the hands press together. Invite the two hemispheres of your mind to integrate. This integration makes space for you to step out of your busy mind. And hopefully our practice earlier makes that a little easier to feel that space between your thoughts and yourself, capital SELF. With an integrated mind, we can Be a cheerleader for ourselves in our practice for whatever we need, directing our thoughts to be supportive, free of competition, free of criticism, free of judgment. With a sense of presence in the body and the mind, drop your hands and layer them over your heart. If you have tension in your neck, still just make some circles. Feel your shoulders relax down as you are tall in your spine. Slight little round arch in the back, not a round, an arch. Let your hands bring you home, a connection to yourself, to the love that you are as part of life. Life here in your body, life here on the planet, life here as part of a universe of magic and mystery. Here, I invite you to set your intention, whether it is around confidence or something else. You might use the words I am. If that's too strong, try I allow. I am curious. I make space for. Something that you can let land as you repeat it to yourself. And it feels supportive. It feels real. We're going to use this affirmation throughout our practice. So when you're ready, just sort of tap it into your head and then remove any props underneath you. See what shin you had in front and put the opposite one in front. So the shin in front tends to give a little bit of stretch to the hips of the leg that's in front. Roll your pelvic bowl forward, zip up your spine. And let's just make some circles forward, 3 circles with the right arm. And then 3 circles back. And then do the same thing on the left side. And 3 circles back. And then bring your hands to your knees. Round your back and drop your chin. Pull your belly button deeply into your spine and stretch across your upper back as you heavy your chin and round your back. Breathe. And then inhale, walk your hands back, maybe walking your pinkies towards one another. Kiss your shoulder blades and lift your heart up. Take your gaze up to the ceiling and open up across your chest. Exhale, come out. I'm just going to take off my little sweatshirt. You might have layers of clothing available for different parts of your practice. And let's come up onto Hero's Pose. So if Hero's Pose is not your thing, there's a couple ways you can do Hero's Pose. You can stack some blocks and sit on them. You can sit on your heels. That's what I'm doing today. If you're really flexible, you can take your heels to the outside of your hips or stretching our knees or quads. It's a little too much for me right at the beginning of the practice. I find sitting on my heels, but if all this isn't for you, you can stay in easy seated pose. And again, being conscious of the pelvic bowl. Maybe taking a minute to roll it back and forth and then leave it rolled forward, the spine nice and tall. Sweep your arms up, bring your right arm across, push your hand against an imaginary wall, left hand underneath, push away, and then look away. And just feel that stretch in the back of your right shoulder. And here, if your neck is tight, my neck is a little tight, I'm just going to do some nods up and down. And at any time, if this hero's pose comes too much for you, you can always readjust. It's part of personal responsibility, taking care of yourself through the practice. And come to still, extend your arms, switch sides, push away. Use that right hand to pull that shoulder into the body. Make sure you stay nice and tall. Look over the left shoulder. You can stretch your eyeballs here too as you're nodding. And breathe. And breathe. When you feel even, come on out. Let's come up onto our knees. So if your knees need extra padding, you can add a blanket under your knees. You're going to have about 2 fists width in between your knees. So they're placed right under your hip creases. My toes are tucked behind me. I'm going to sweep my arms up, take them out to the side, kiss the shoulder blades together as I roll the palms forward. Pull my belly button in, and then just start to twist. So this is great for the internal organs. It's a waist whittler. And just see if you can keep your arms out. Keep the hips squared forward. Great for the low back, for the side muscles, the lats. Keep your belly button pulled in. And then come to still, sweep the arms up, wiggle all 10 fingers, and then bring movement into your wrist. Bring all that to still and come into a cactus. Spread 10 fingers wide, drop your shoulders out of your ears and pulse your elbows back. Try to keep a 90-degree angle under your armpits. And let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the arms out to the side. Turn the palms backwards. Bring the hands behind you. So we're opening up the chest, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. If you have more space, interlace your fingers, drop your knuckles, and everyone take your gaze upward. Lift your heart, stretch your shoulders across your chest, maybe underneath your chin. Take your eyeballs up to the ceiling. Slowly release. Step out with your left foot. Position yourself on the mat so that your left foot can roll so all four corners are on the mat. And sweep your arms up. And start to crescent little pulses over that extended leg. And be aware of keeping the top shoulder rolled back. And feel the stretch up the side of your body. When it feels right, come to still, drop that left hand down, roll the right shoulder back, look up, and just hold the stretch. Don't hold your breath. Breathe and breathe and breathe. We're going to inhale our arms up and take that right hand down to the mat. Stack your shoulders, lift that left leg, bring the right hip forward, side plank. Stack shoulders, stacked hips, pull the core in, press out through the heel. Look up to the ceiling. If it's too much, you drop out. If it's okay, grab the top of your foot, arch your back, stretch your shoulder, stretch your quad. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Slowly release, come back to your knees, tuck your toes. We're going to wake up these quads. They got used yesterday with my skinny skiing. So knees are rooted down. Crown is rooted up. We're going to hinge back with a nice tall body hinging back, activating those quads. You can add your arms out or up if you like a little more. My quads are a little sore. I'm going to keep my hands low. Drop your shoulders out of your ears wherever you are, even if you have your hands up, and breathe and breathe and breathe. Make your way back up, and let's extend that right leg out to the side. Get these oblique stretches in. Sweep the arms up, pull the belly button in, start to pulse. Breathe for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that right hand, roll that left shoulder back, look up to the ceiling, stretch. Breathe, don't hold your breath. Windmill on an exhale, left hand comes down, stack your shoulders, bring that bottom hip forward, lift your leg, look up, breathe. If you like, add on. If not, just come back to a drop knee. Open your shoulder, open your quad. Exhale, come out. Switch around so that you're on your mat lengthwise in box pose, 10 fingers spread wide, knees under hips, toes tucked, and start to ungulate your spine, cow and cat. Your arms are straight, your elbows are not locked, but your arms are tall. You're moving from your tailbone to your crown. Exhaling as you arch, inhaling as you sag the belly. Come to still, come back up onto your knees with toes tucked, and come back into that quad activator. Maybe adding on here, and breathe, pull your belly button in, and breathe. Anytime you need a drink, you take a break and get one. Exhale, come down with hands to the mat. Puppy pose. So make sure you're back far enough on your mat. You're going to keep your hips over your knees. We're going to extend that right arm. We're going to bring that left forearm across the mat. Sag the belly just like we did in cow. Drop your forehead to your belly and then roll your shoulders wide as you drop your chest towards the mat. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. Slide your right hand towards you, lift your head, come back up onto your knees, sweep your arms up, bring your hands into fists, bring them into your kidney points, kiss your shoulder blades together, keep your hips over your knees, and start to lift your heart without dropping your head. So just arch your back, open across the front of the chest, stretch the spine, a little modified camel, and breathe and breathe. Slowly come out. I've got a person who's joining me kind of late, but now she'll be part of our class. And then we'll come back into the other side of puppy, stretching that left arm out, bringing that right forearm across, dropping our forehead, dropping our chest, widening our shoulders. Welcome, Kathy. I just thought I'd record a class because no one was here. You shouldn't be in the recording. It should just be me. We've just been working on just opening up our shoulders along with our from our knees to the top of our head. So make sure you're taking time to stretch. We're just in the other half of puppy. Slide that left hand towards you, come back into the box. And Kathy, you can start with us here with cow and cat. And come to still. Sweep that left arm up. Press your hips back. Pull your belly button in. Look up at those left fingers. Give them a wiggle. Stretch the eyeballs. And drop your shoulders out of your ears. Take some nice breaths. And on an exhale, thread that left hand underneath the right armpit. Press your right arm into, rest right hand into the mat. And give a nice stretch across the back of the left shoulder. We're going to add on to this. For this one, we're just doing an easy stretch. Press into the right hand to come out. Make sure you're high enough on your mat. I was kind of back far. Knees are 2 fists width apart, toes are tucked. Sweep the right hand up, press the hips flat, drop the shoulders away from the ears, wiggle the right fingers. Breathe, and then exhale that right hand underneath. Drop the right side of your head down on the mat, push into your left hand. Your right palm is open. And you're just stretching. This feels so good because this is the shoulder that's just, I don't know. I was at first a little scared going. I went cross country skiing yesterday, Kathy, and I was using my poles a little too much. But I got it before the rest of the day. Make your way out on an inhale, and then position yourself for full puppy. So walking both hands out, keeping the hips over the knees, drop the chest down, chin comes to the mat, peel the fingers off of the mat and roll your shoulders wide and breathe. You can also have your forehead on the mat if your chest doesn't come down. And breathe and breathe. Drop your hands down, slide them towards you, come back into the box. And then once you have your box set, inhale that left arm up, thread it underneath the right armpit, come back to where we were. You can always stay here. The add-on is to drop, step back with the right foot, then sweep those right toes to reach for your right fingertips. Inhale. Your left fingertips. Inhale your right arm up and look up. Pull your belly button in. If you want to try more, engage your core. Sweep that right leg up. Bring that left hip forward. If you want more, bend the knee. Grab the top of the foot. Kick out, pull in. Always a choice. Wherever you landed, make your way back to box. And if you're not doing the add-ons, you can always come back to box, do some cow and cats. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Sweeping. I forget what arm I just did. Sweeping the right arm up, threading it underneath the left armpit, letting the right side of the head come down. And you can stay here or step that left foot back. Sweep it to meet the fingertips. That's another option. You can see how that feels. If you want to add on some ab workout, contract your abs, sweep that left leg up and bring that right hip forward. Balance. If all that feels good, you can lift up that left arm. If you want a quad stretch, grab the top of your foot, kick out, pull in. Stay with your breath. And make your way out. Back to box. Tuck your toes. Set your knees. Walk your hands. Come back up onto your knees. Take time to pad your knees if you needed that. Come into the quad strengthener. Sink back, hands out or up. Release your glutes. So don't let your glutes fire up here. Just let your quads hold you. And breathe. And breathe. Exhale, take your arms out to the side. Align your hips over your knees. Arch your back. Lift your heart. Drop your shoulders out of your ears. If you need support, you can always make those fists. Bring them to your kidney points. You can come into full camel if you're ready for that, or you can do half camel. One hand drops to a heel, one hand reaches to the sky. Lots of options. Keep your hips square, whatever you choose, and keep your neck supported. If you're doing one side, make sure you take time to do the other side. Wherever you landed, come to a stack with hands up overhead. Then drop the hands behind you, airplane arms, just like we did before, or interlace your fingers, drop your knuckles, and let your heart float up. As your knuckles float down, keep your head supported. Feel your knees pressing into the mat, your hips over your knees. And breathe, and breathe, and breathe. Slowly release. Make your way back to box. Maybe take a moment to add some organic movement. Make sure you're high enough on your mat. We're going to do plank. Plank can be done on your knees with your toes tucked, shoulders draw away from the ears, belly button pulls into the spine, head reaches long, and you feel the activation across your upper back in the shoulders to bring it into the triceps. Bend the elbows to make it harder. Lift the knees and hold and breathe for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can chaturanga down. You can drop your knees, chaturanga down. Find your way down to the floor. And extend your arms out like airplane wings. Untuck your toes. Feel the palms of your hands on the floor. Relax your shoulders. Let your head turn so your left ear is on the mat. And then lift one leg and then the other. Bring the toe mounts together and relax across your hips. Bend your right knee. Flex your right foot and pulse your heel to the ceiling. So now we're working the glute for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep that right knee to your right elbow for half frog pose with a flexed right foot. Let your ear be heavy, and then let your right hip weight towards the floor. Relax your shoulders. Left hand straight out from your body, 5 fingers wide. Slide your right hand towards you, elbow goes towards the sky. We're going to roll onto our left hip. Sweep that right leg to the ceiling. If it's too much, you can always bend the knee, drop the foot, hold it there. We're stretching the front of this left shoulder. So you can lessen or deepen the pressure with your right hand. You can add on a little hip workout by lifting and lowering that leg for 6, 5, 4, 3, stack your hips, 2, and 1. You can add on here by lifting that right arm and play around there. See how that feels. You can add the quad stretch, bend the knee, grab the top of the foot, kick out, pull in. Find your yoga. You can always go back to laying on your belly, stretching your neck and taking some breaths. Find your pose. Release, roll on your belly. Keep your head right where it is. Lower your hips down, maybe lift and lower your legs. And then separate your feet. Bend your knees. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. So we're trying to keep our head on the mat. We're working our low back here. So as we press our feet together, we're going to lift our thighs, and the head's going to want to lift. So see if you can find a point where you can keep that connection, and then lift and lower for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release out. We're going to turn our head to face the other way. Keeping that, now putting the right ear on the mat. Drawing our shoulders away from our ears. Our arms are out straight. Lift up your legs. Roll the flesh to the outer edges. Bring the toe mounds together. And then bend that left knee, flex that left foot, and pump that heel towards the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep that left knee towards the left elbow, flex the left foot, melt your chest, melt that right ear, melt that left hip. Breathe. Right hand straight out, 5 fingers spread wide. Slide your left hand towards you. Roll on to that right hip. Stack your hips. Keep your head on the floor. If you need to, bend your knee. If it's okay, start to lift and lower that left leg for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can keep that leg lifted and lift up the left arm. Kiss the shoulder blades together. Open up the chest. Stack the hips. You have to engage your core. If you want more, bend your knee. Grab the top of your foot. Arch your back. Open up your mind, your throat. your heart. Let's take a minute here to say our affirmation, Kathy. We are working with confidence today, free of arrogance, free of pride. So think about your affirmation, or maybe you have something else you would rather work on today. And breathe and breathe. Make your way out, and this time come into crocodile arms. One forearm stacked over the other. Lower your forehead. This is going to make our little leg lifts easier because we've lifted our head up and we have something for it to meet. Separate your knees, bend them, bring the bottoms of your feet together. Keep your forehead on your forearms, your chest on the mat, and lift and lower your thighs, pressing your feet together for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the legs down, lift the head up, come into Sphinx, elbows underneath the shoulders, 10 fingers spread wide. Lift up the legs, release the flesh, walk the toe mounts together unless that's not good for your body. Heavy your hips, lift through your crown, drop your shoulders away from your ears. Bring your heart forward, take your eyeballs upward. Breathe and breathe. If this isn't enough for you, lift your elbows, but not your shoulders, and deepen that stretch in the low back. Lower down, roll onto your back. Maybe you take a drink on that transition if you need to. We're going to start out in a little ball, massaging out the hips, the low back. We're going to do an eagle pose for our balance today. We're going to do one as a core workout on our back today too. So come to still, parallel the shins, roll the pelvic bowl, glue your core to the mat. There's no space underneath here. Cross your right leg underneath your left, and if you can, tuck your toes behind your ankle. Then reach your arms up. Bring your right arm underneath. Bring your hands together and bring your elbows over your face. So this is 1. You're pressing your low back into the mat. 2, you float your shoulders. You keep your chin out of your chest. 3, you crunch. So your choice. If you're crunching, let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax out. Find happy baby. Taking your hands across the arches of your feet. Pull down a little bit. Get the shoulders out of the ears. Find the flat spot on the back of your head. Your tailbone is off of the mat. Your low back is pressing deeply into the mat. Nice hip stretch. Breathe and breathe. Release for that eagle pose. Make sure the low back is planted. Left leg over the top. Tuck the toes. Shins parallel with the ceiling. Make sure your low back is rooted. Left elbow under right. Elbows over the face. This is 1. 2, float your shoulders. Keep your chin out of your chest. And 3 is elbows to knees, crunches. If you're doing those, let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy baby. Find yours. Maybe you rock from side to side. Say something nice to yourself. Maybe say your affirmation. When you're done, come to still, drop your feet down, keep your knees bent. If you like, you can grab a block or a ball to put between your knees. It's nice to have them to squeeze towards one another. Walk your heels towards you. We're going to do some bridges. Walk your fingers towards your heels. Make sure your neck is long, your throat is open, and your brow is soft. When you're ready, lift your hips, press your knees out, keep your throat open, squeeze the knees together, and then exhale down and inhale up nice and slow. And let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up. If you like, walk your shoulders together, clasp your hands, and hold your pose. You can always come out if it's too much. We're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, roll to the left, ditch your prop, and come up to box pose. Widen your knees, bring your toe mounds together, drop your hips to your heels, devotion your arms, add a block under your chest or your chin or your forehead. If you can't reach the ground, roll your shoulders wide, pick those hands up, spread the fingers wide, feel the stretch in the low back, up the spine, and across the top of your back. Drop your hands down, walk them to the left, stretch through the right side. You can look up over your left shoulder as you lower your right armpit to the floor. Add on, you can do a half bind. When it's time, come back to center. Deep devotional stretch. And then find your way when you're ready over to the right and stretch through the left hand. Press back with the left hip. Look up over the right shoulder. Half bind if that's good for you. Make your way out. Come back to box. Tuck the toes. Cow and cat. Make your way up to downward facing dog. Walk your hands to your toes. Forward fold, soft knees. Belly touches the thighs. Lift the hips, drop the head. Shake out the head trash. Grab your elbows, drop your forearms. Release your hands, roll up one vertebra at a time. Take a minute, say your mantra, your affirmation, and let's grab a drink. And we'll do our eagle standing. So find mountain pose. You can use your foot to set the space. Pivot around, align the outsides of the feet. Zip up your spine, kind of forward a lot. Find your dristi. Release your shoulders. We're going to weight into the right foot. Bend the right knee, cross the left foot over top, and just take our toes to the mat. And then bend our knees. Sink at our hip creases. And then if you have the flexibility, I just don't have it anymore. You can tuck your toes around your ankle. It's called graceful aging. From here, we sweep up our arms, left arm underneath. Clasp your hands together, then bring those elbows in front of your face. Press out through your elbows. Feel a stretch across your upper back in your shoulders. Sink down a little deeper, pulling your belly button in, lifting your hands up. Breathe, push out with your elbows to increase the stretch across your upper back. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Exhale, find your way out, back to mountain. Set your tallness, relax your shoulders. Find your dristi. Same thing, other side. So bend the knees, cross the right foot over the left. You can tuck your toes. I can still do it on this side, but I'm not gonna. And then sit in a chair, creased at your hips, tall through your spine. Engage your core. Sweep your arms up. Right elbow under left. Bring those arms up. Create that stretch in the back of your shoulders. Press your elbows out. Lift your crown tall. Sink down a little deeper. Press out a little further with those elbows. It's your beak. Be a beautiful eagle. And breathe. And breathe. And breathe. Make your way out. And let's do some of those modified jumping jacks. So in the center, bend the knees, sweep the arms up today, then bring them down. Step out to the right, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, come back to down, back to center. Same thing in the center. Then out to the left, bend the knees, lift the arms, and just flow. Your breath, your movement. One side, center, other side, center. Breathe, bend. My knees are a little sore from yesterday's fun. How low can you go? What is good for you? Little heart rate increaser. Inhale. Let's do one more each side. One more in the middle. And come down. All right, let's come down Oh, actually, let's stay up. We have time. Let's do a few, just a warrior flow. So come to the back of your mat. Find that mountain pose. Release the shoulders. Lift through the crown. Pull the belly button in. Step forward with your left foot for warrior one. Plant your back foot. Slide your left foot out. Square your hips. Stack your knee. Square your shoulders. And then reach the arms up and come into an exalt. Arch the back. Drop the shoulders. Lift the heart. Breathe and breathe. Find your courage to have authenticity that brings true confidence. Think a little deeper. Exhale, turn into warrior two. Don't let that knee come in. Maybe widen your stance. Square your hips, your shoulders. Take your arms out to the side. Let's reach forward, back to center. Reach back to center. Breathe. Stretch the obliques. Inhale. Inhale. Come back to center. Bring your hands behind you. You can have airplane arms or drop your knuckles. Lift your heart, stretch. Open the shoulders, open the throat, open the mind, open the heart. Release out, straighten that left leg. Pivot your feet so the insides are aligned. Poke your hip crease. Find a halfway lift. Flatten out through your low back, your booty. Blossom out there. Then extend long through your spine. Sag your belly, kiss your shoulder blades. Let your fingers fall where they will. Give your legs a nice stretch. Want to add on here, you can bring your hands behind you, lift them up and drop your head. You don't have to do it. Wherever you landed, come into a wide leg dog, bringing your fingertips out in front of you. Flatten and lengthen through your spine, widen through your shoulders. Feel all four corners of your feet on the mat. Walk your hands to the back of your mat, pivot around. You're on the ball of your left foot. Pulse forward. For 6, 5, keep that right knee over the ankle. 3, 2, and 1. Just land your hands. Step your right foot back. You're on the balls of your feet. Make sure your hands are set wide. Lift your hips and pedal your heels up and down. Stretch your calves. Don't let any tension come into the neck and the shoulders. Shake your head. Drop both heels down. Lift your hips up, widen your shoulders. Hold your downward facing dog, letting your blood rush to your head, your teeth, your gums, your pineal. Breathe and breathe. And bend your knees. Walk your hands to your toes. Forward fold. Grab your elbows. Lower your forearms. Glue your belly to your thighs. Lift your hips. Take out your head trash. Release your hands, make them into fists, engage your core, roll up one vertebra at a time. When you get up, find your mountain, say your affirmation. You're at the back of your mat. Step forward with your right foot. Plant your left foot, you're backwards on your mat. Find your warrior one. Stack your knee over your ankle. Square your hips and your shoulders. When you got it all set, exalt. Arch your back, drop your shoulders out of your ears. Keep that knee stacked over the ankle. Feel your hips. Feel your strength. Feel your courage. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Exhale into warrior two. Don't let that knee come in. Square your hips, square your shoulders. Let's just twist here. Whittle the waist again. For 10, 9. Keep your hips square. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to warrior two. Bring your hands behind you or interlace. Drop your knuckles. Lift your heart. Open up the shoulders, the neck. Keep the legs strong. Stay low. Don't let that right knee splay in. Breathe and breathe. Release your hands. Straighten the right leg. Pivot the foot. Blossom through the tailbone. Hinge at the hips. Find your halfway lift. Drop your fingers down to the floor. Walk your hands to the right. Bend that right knee. Keep the back flat. Feel the stretch on the inside of the left leg. You can stay here or come into a skater's pose. And breathe and breathe. Drop your hands down, come back to center. Drop your head down. Forward fold. Add on, walk your hands behind you. Lift your hips up, shake out your head trash. If your hands were behind you, walk them underneath you. Bend your left knee, walk to the left. Flatten out your back. Get your shoulders out of your ears. Make sure your right foot's flat on the mat. Your left knee is over your left ankle. Prayer hands if you want more. And breathe and breathe. Drop your hands down, pivot around. You're on the ball of your right foot and do those pulses forward for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant your hands. Step your left foot back. Drop your heels. Lift your hips, widen your shoulders. You can always drop down to box or child's pose. We're gonna keep that left foot where it is. Sweep that right leg up. Drop that right shoulder. That's 1, 2. Bend the knee, stack the hip. Breathe and breathe and breathe. Drop that right foot down. If you didn't choose to do that and you were in box, come back up. Hold your dog for a couple breaths. You can always go back to box. We're going to press that right heel down. Lift the left leg up. If you're with me, straighten the right leg. Square the shoulders. Add on is a bend and a twist, a stack, and breathe and breathe and breathe. Make your way out. Everybody find box. Cow and cat. Toes are tucked. Knees are under hips. Arms are straight. Come to still. Left arm comes up. Threads underneath the right, lay the side of the head down, press into the right hand. Check out the step back. Maybe you feel confidence to try it. Slide the toes to meet the fingers. Pull your belly button in, arm comes up. Look up, wiggle those right fingers. Pull your belly button in. Sweep that right leg up, stack your hips. Bring that bottom hip forward. If you want more, quad stretch. Bend the knee, grab the top of the foot. Make your way out. Ooh, set your box, other side. Right arm comes up. This is the one I'm looking forward to. Thread the needle. Left hand presses into the mat. This feels so good for my shoulder. Step back with the left foot. Slide the toes to the fingers. You know you don't have to do it if it's too much. Pull your belly button in. Left arm comes up. Bring your heart forward. Make sure your throat is open. Contract your abs. Sweep that left leg up. Bring that right hip forward. Breathe. Bend your knee. Grab the top of your foot. If you roll out, just laugh. It's yoga. We're trying something. Breathe and breathe. Make your way out. Say something nice to yourself. Come back in to easy pose. Maybe grab a drink. Grab your props. Notice what leg you put in front automatically and put the opposite one. So I usually put my left leg in front. So now I'm putting my right leg, and that's just a little passive stretch for our hips. We're going to do our Kundalini practice one more time, and then we'll come down to the mat for Savasana, fetal pose, and our ending practices. So first thing we do is support the spine, roll the pelvic bowl forward, slight arch in the back, lift through the crown, drop the shoulders, close the eyes, rest the hands. Imagine your nose as a magic marker and just make 3 circles, really making sure there's no tension in the neck and the shoulders. After you do 3, go the other way. Maybe you hear popping and creaking. Come back to center. Feel the stack, hips, then shoulders stacked over, then ears. You have to bring your chin back slightly. Then open your eyes. And drop your gaze. Find a drishti out at a diagonal from your eyes over your nose. Bring your thumbs into your palms, your fingers over that. Heel of the hands and knuckles touch. Rest your mudra. Bring your attention to your third eye. Maybe you can breathe and repeat your mantra, maybe not. Start your breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through pursed lips. Inhale through pursed lips. Exhale through your nostrils. Keep going. Wherever you are, repeat one more. When you're finished, open up your arms, close your eyes, lift your heart, hold your breath after you inhale up. And when you're ready, exhale your hands down, release your shoulders, lift your crown. Take a moment to notice the sensations. So the breath that we're doing today is supposed to calm you and connect you with that inner guidance. The Amdi Mudra I posted on Meetup. Now I forgot what it does, but again, all about connecting with yourself. Maybe take a moment to say your intention for your practice. And slowly come out, remove your prop, switch your shins, erect your spine, sweep your arms up, take a twist to the right, lift through the crown, look over the right shoulder, keep that left hip rolling back so you're twisting, stretching your internal organs, your spine, your lats, your neck, your gaze as you go a little further with your eyes. And then keeping that left hand where it is, release with a sweep from your right hand up to your left knee. Knees come up, and then round your back like you did in cat. Drop your chin, drop your knees. Feel that stretch across your upper back. So today we did all of our body, but we had more of a focus on our neck and our shoulders. And this is our upper back, including the lats. With an exhale, release, sweep your arms up. Take a twist to the left. Same thing. Stay tall. Keep that right hip planted. Turn your shoulders. Take your gaze behind you. Stretch your eyeballs. When you're ready, right hand stays where it is. Left hand sweeps up and over. Knees lift up. Belly button presses in. Low back rounds deeply. Chin touches the chest. Drop your knees. Make your way up. Bring your hands to your knees. Cow and cat just a couple times. Start to think about what you need for your last couple poses. You might want to do legs up against the wall or lay your clothes. I'm going to go lower my lights. You might light a candle. You might grab bolsters or blankets. You might squirt some scents. I'm going to put back on my sweatshirt. If you have time, you might be doing a boat pose if you're not adding any of these other things to your practice, adding in a little more abs, or you might be laying down on the mat just in a little fetal pose, having a little massage on your back. So however you want, find your way to that fetal, that little ball pose. And then any other movements you need to do to find your way to your Savasana. I'm going to do Wide legs, TP knees. I have a neck stretcher I'm using here. You can roll a towel, place it under your neck. Once you get in your sweet spot position, take your arms out, open your palms, feel those chakras in the palms of your hands. Those chakras are from your heart. And take a moment to listen to your body. Did you pick a good position? Do you need to adjust any part of it? Tune in, tap in to your parts and your pieces. Find any tension, any resistance, and relax it out. You might cover your eyes with an eye pillow or a towel. You might close them. You might just stare at a drishti. We're checking in with our body, making sure it feels supported so it can surrender, so you can engage with your breath and sink into serenity. From a relaxed state in the body, you're checking on your head, making sure that you haven't stepped into a busy mind of the past or the future, that you're still in your observer, with space between you and your thoughts. You can watch your thoughts. It's hard to stop them. We want to be careful to not check out, because that's not what we're doing, not to disassociate, not to go into another world or another dimension. But in Savasana, we're practicing being right here, right now, in our body, on our mat, practicing presence. So relax your brow, soften your face, your cheeks, your jaw. With presence in your body and in your mind, sink down into your heart space. It can be a hard place if you've got a lot of trauma. The heart can be closed, protected. You might have to say to your heart, this is just for us. We're safe. We're here on our mat. We're just doing yoga. We're just connecting with ourselves, allowing ourselves to see the emotions, the fear, the anger, the joy, the connection, the curiosity, whatever is there for you, resentment, and anything on the full spectrum. Take this time in Savasana to be present with whatever is in you. Presence makes space for awareness, acceptance, appreciation, and then choice in action. You don't have to keep doing the same old things over and over. We can practice an awakened state, which is what point 6 is all about. Hang out for a few moments, exactly 1 more minute. Of course, if you wanted to do more than a minute, you could always turn off your Zoom and hang out here for as long as you like. But because I promise the class will be over when I do, I invite you, if you're with me, take a stretch and then walk your way into a fetal pose on your side, catching your head, having something in between your knees. Maybe it's your fist, maybe it's a block, a ball, a pillow, but something to support your hips, to support your low back as you draw your thighs deeply towards you. And then here we open our eyes. We take that presence that we practiced and we bring it into a eyes open state. And we anchor it in with gratitude and appreciation. So take a second to just appreciate what you did, what your body allowed, your practice today, your time on the mat. I appreciate you being here. And slowly make your way up to your desired seated pose. It could be easy seated, it could be hero's pose, it could be lotus pose. Zip up the spine, drop the shoulders, hands to prayer. Bow the nose to the fingertips. Thinking of the word namaste, and it references the light in you, seeing the light in me, the light in me, seeing the light in you. Probably easy to do in yoga, but the invitation is to do it with everybody, and especially the people that trigger you, that upset you, that you don't understand. See the light. Namaste. So Kathy, I'll end this little recording and then we can chat. There we go.